Welcome. Do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Welcome. Another one incoming as Buhari disowns Jonathan's presidential bid amidst APC ticket. 2 days after former President Goodluck Jonathan got a reprieve from a federal high court, removing the constitutional obstruction that now makes him eligible to contest 2023 presidency, President Muhammadu Buhari has distanced himself from any plot to draft Jonathan into the All Progressive Congress APC presidential race. Indications have emerged that while few APC members, including the Northern governor, are behind the push to draft Jonathan into the ruling party's presidential primary, a presidency source late on Sunday, however, revealed that President Buhari has taken measures to distance himself from the plot. The impeccable source in the villa disclosed that instructions have consequently been given that there shall be no public release of photos of any meetings between the former president and the incumbent at this time, as the president does not want such images to be used to confer any modicum of support to plot to get Jonathan into the race. According to the source, there are also concerns that the aides of the ex-president are involved in actively keeping the plot alive in the media by releasing photos of his visits to the APC chairman, Senator Abdullahi Adamu, and Alhaji Mamman Daura, the president's influential nephew, to insinuate that these two gentlemen are in support of the plot. However, while speculative news reports have claimed that the APC has granted Jonathan waiver to join the presidential race, even though he is not known to have properly fulfilled membership requirements, there has not been any formal confirmation that he submitted the presidential nomination forms or whether he will be included in the screening expected to happen this week. Meanwhile, the source added that the former president is not being precluded from visiting the presidential villa at this time in line with protocol. Being a former president in good standing and due to his international assignments, for which he has to regularly brief President Buhari. Although President Buhari has not indicated who he is backing for the APC presidential primaries, the presidency source explained that Jonathan is certainly not in the picture at all. And the mentioning of his name has been invoking feelings of absurdity and ridicule in the villa. The source recalled that during a public interview earlier this year, a journalist asked the president to use one word to describe the PDP. He instantly said failure. How then would the same person who strongly feels that way would then be contemplating supporting the same PDP candidate he roundly defeated? It was also disclosed that neither the APC chairman nor Daura are behind the plot to draft Jonathan, as it is being suggested, according to the source, it's only the aides of the ex-president that are going to town to create such an impression. The source further added, all of these plots will be over in a matter of days as the APC presidential primaries and now irretrievable set and the president's choices would be known. Also, the former secretary to the federal government, Chief Olufale, has attributed the plot to draft Jonathan into the race to this desperate attempt by some powerful forces to quickly return power to the north after his one term in 2027. Falaye, who faulted the moves while speaking with journalists in Akure, the Ondo state capital, yesterday, wondered how Jonathan, that was booted out over incompetency and corruption, suddenly became a beautiful pride to the powerful forces from the north. He, however, maintained that the country could only move forward if she embraces restructuring, noting that the present constitution of the country is faulty and should be replaced to move the country forward. There could never be peace in the country with this quasi-unitary constitution, which is what some people want to hang on to because it suits them in a faulty arrangement without doing the needful. The man you threw away from government, describing him an incompetent man, an idiot, an imbecile, and there was no name they didn't call him, and you are calling him back to ask him to come back to rule. And there's only one reason for that. The only reason they're asking Goodluck Jonathan to come back is that he will spend one term as president. They don't want the presidency to be in the south for more than 4 years. They want it quickly back in the north, so they want to use Goodluck to achieve their objective against his own people. They do not care what it does if he goes back this time around and is a bigger thief this time, or if he's more incompetent this time. It does not bother them as long as they get back to power quickly. Are we on the same plane, or do we have the same objective? They will sacrifice anything in Nigeria as long as they get what they want. So this is where we are, and that's why we need a political party, not what I call an opportunist gang up for power. That's what PDP is, and that's what APC is. Opportunist gang up for power, not parties. So without restructuring, we are wasting our time because the Englishman was not a fool when he gave us a truly federal constitution. It is within the ambit of a true federal constitution that 448 different ethnic nationalities can coexist with reasonable amity and peace, he said. Meanwhile, President Buhari has been urged to adopt the consensus method for the forthcoming APC presidential primary to protect the nation's currents, according to a founding member of the party, Mr. Osita Okechukwu, who made the plea in an interaction with journalists in Abuja yesterday. He said using indirect methodology opens the primary to monetization and depreciation of the naira, while pointing out that a nation's currency is one of the critical indices of measuring the general health of its economy. Okechukwu stressed that when the currency nosedives, hyperinflation, gross unemployment, and abject poverty ensue, thereby worsening the nation's security. Okechukwu, who is also the Director General of the Voice of Nigeria (VON), said, "Sincerely, I congratulate Atiku on his emergence from the opposition party primary, but as a patriot and stakeholder in the Nigerian project, I am worried by PDP's induced dollar reign, which led to unprecedented depreciation of the naira. If that could happen in a party with about 731 delegates, imagine what will happen if APC with about 2,322 delegates is allowed to indulge in dollar reign." However, the Southern and Middle Belt leaders have described the emergence of Atiku as a brazen affront on the people of Southern Nigeria. In a statement jointly signed by Senator Basi Ewa Esho of PADEF, Oke Mushe of Onaeze Indigbo Worldwide, Jare Ajayi of Afenifere, Dr. Nsuwa Dogo of Middle Belt, and Ken Robinson, acting coordinator of FMBLF. The leaders roundly rejected the candidacy of Atiku and called on a true lover of peace and unity not to vote for him or any other northerner next year in the interest of posterity. Again, FMBLF calls on all politicians of southern extraction to refuse the position of a running mate to any northern presidential candidate, which will equally be viewed as subjugating their people to political slavery. Lamenting the outcome of the PDP presidential primary, Secretary General of Onaeze Indigbo Worldwide, Mazu Okechukwu Isugu Zoro, described Atiku's emergence as an erratic and corrupt process that was overseen by the North against the South. It's amusing that PDP is now a political party for the northern region, with Dr. Iyocha Ayu as chair, Walid Jubril as BOT chair, and Atiku as 2023 presidential candidate, all from northern Nigeria. Another northerner, Senator David Mark, supervised the process that skimmed out Igbo from PDP. The outcome of the PDP primaries is appointed that Igbo should boycott the presidential election as a protest in response to the grand conspiracy against Indigbo.